And it will certainly become less cold this weekend, but more very wet and very windy weather is on the way. I'll have all the details on Storm Isha in just a few minutes.
The big freeze is almost over, but there's a storm on the way.
That's right. Do you know what's really good is the fact that, bearing in mind it's Friday and it's January, there's nothing happening with the weather. It's so quiet. I mean, you can just put your feet up, nothing. Storms. You're right, it's storms. So we've covered the snow, we've covered the ice, we've covered the everything. And we're going to have a massive step change with the weather over the next 24 to 48 hours, just as a way of being able to just really describe this. Last Tuesday just gone in Birmingham, it was just 2 degrees as our maximum daytime temperature. Roll forward a few days from now, and we're going to be seeing highs of 14. So well below, then well above the seasonal average in really just a week. So incredibly warm weather really coming up, but also that brings with it incredibly unsettled weather as well. If we have a look at what's going on, you can see with this temperature contour, it's cold over us at the moment, but as high pressure starts to move away, it opens the door to the Atlantic. There is Storm Isha, which is going to be scooting in Sunday night into Monday, bringing very disruptive conditions, and then another very deep area of low pressure, which potentially could be named as we move into Tuesday and then Wednesday. So we've swapped the very cold stuff, the very unsettled stuff. So definitely it is worth keeping up to date with things at the moment, because it's a very rapidly changing situation. But unsurprisingly, with Storm Isha on the cards, we have weather warnings coming out of our ears. Sunday into Monday, as I say, I think the bulk of it is going to be moving through Sunday night. We have amber weather warnings in force for very strong winds, gusting up to 80 miles an hour in places. But for everyone, it is going to be very, very windy indeed, with some very heavy rain. Let's have a look now at the detail for the weekend. So honestly, this is changing all the time. It's definitely worth staying up to date with the latest weather warnings. Another potential storm on Tuesday, which would be Storm Jocelyn.
Okay, thanks very much.
So as I say, there's no rest for the wicked, which must mean that we have all been very naughty indeed. Lots going on this weekend. Let's have a little look. As you can see, we've got Storm Isha on the cards, as I say, which is Sunday, increasing winds on Sunday and then into Monday as well. I think the bulk of it is going to be moving through Sunday night, but it is going to be very windy indeed, very wet as well, potentially disruptive for the rush hour on Monday morning. Exactly what we like. Let's get the detail then. So look ahead to this evening and overnight. It's still cold ahead of this system, and towards the central southeastern parts, it's another chilly night. Temperatures dropping below freezing, particularly away from the towns and cities. So it is going to be an awful lot milder, though, across the more western parts, as I say, we get that Atlantic influence starting to move in, and patchy rain as well. So on to tomorrow morning. Quite a decent start, I think, across the central southeastern parts, but all the time the cloud is thickening up, the patchy rain starting to move in. This isn't the storm, but it's the forerunner of the storm, and it's definitely a change in type from something really quite settled and quite cold to something very lively indeed. Jumping ahead to Sunday, quite a nice start to the day once again. Don't be fooled. There's Storm Isha moving in from the west, roaring in, giving us very strong winds and heavy rain. Stay up to date with the latest warnings.